Hey everybody, welcome to the Quick Draw with me, Mike, your host, as well as my co-host John here. You can follow him at Kemedi Hidioku. We were going to have a fun show about, well, not so fun because the topic's kind of depressing. We were going to talk about the genocide that's going on in South Africa with Browning, who unfortunately has done something to piss off the internet gods or Anonymous or somebody. So he's not going to be with us tonight. We will reschedule with him. So I'm the complete opposite of
depressing
racial genocide. We're gonna make this a fun show. We're gonna let you guys ask us any questions you want, and Derek's here to heckle the hell out of us. That's great. Hi, Derek. How you doing, buddy?
Uh-oh. What did he do?
He was trolling me on Twitter for like a good half an hour.
I'm like running behind on all this.
That's okay. It's what I get for asking people to troll me. Like, I might as well just say, this is the Quick Draw roast. Just roast the shit out of us.
What? Oh God, no. But I was gonna say, I guess we don't need to go on too much about the march. What is it? March for Our Lives. If we don't want to get too depressing,
I don't talk about those stupid people. I've lost my patience. I've lost
Dane Cook. Or talk about Dane Cook because, dear God.
Wait, does Dane Cook? He's the comedian, right?
Yeah, but he decided to. He apparently is very much pro gun control, and
why? Hold on. Why is John so much better looking than me? Because he's black.
What? Well,
that's not my story, and I'm sticking to it.
What? Well, there is that whole thing about black don't crack, but I'm not old enough for that to really matter. I should think.
I'm gonna keep
what? What? I'm the same age as you, please.
No, I was gonna. There's another. I probably believe there's a singles thing. I'm married, so I don't know. Wait, no, married tends to make people more attractive.
Well, it could be. I was gonna say because don't like women tend to hit on the married guys. See, there you go. So, and I mean, I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of men who. I never understand those men who apparently think that women, the less available a woman is, the more they want to pursue her. Like, that seems to be their thing. I thought
that was a girl thing. Like, girls do that to boys.
I know guys like that though too. Wait.
Is this personal experience talking? What's going on here? Is this?
Well, I mean, like. What?
This sounds like a story.
No, I'm just saying I've met guys like that before where married and uninterested is their thing.
Right, guys.
Yes.
All right. So what kind of video games do you all play? That's from Grey Wolf 76.
Okay, that works. That's a topic I love. You want that one first? I was gonna say
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm a nostalgic gamer because I love JRPGs more than anything. So that kind of dictates what I play. So that kind of sticks me in the SNES, PS1, PS2 era, and the GBA. And then there's like random stuff on Steam that I like. I got to admit, the modern consoles, they got some nice games, but I could live without them. But JRPGs, 2D fighters, those are favorites of mine.
I like RPGs. I do a lot of PC gaming.
So Western and Japanese then?
Japanese RPGs are what got me into gaming. So like the first games that I ever was like really, really into were like the Final Fantasy series.
Yep.
And I was like addicted to those until I realized they suck.
I love the Final Fantasy games. What was the first one you played?
I mean, I love the Final Fantasy series, but like JRPG as a genre has not really changed in 20, 25 years. And it's just very boring. Like that's a game that I can play and I'll be having fun, but I'll actually fall asleep while playing it. I don't.
See, ironically for me, that's why I like them, is because they don't the overall formula.
You don't get that feeling like when you play Dead Space. That's a game. Dead Space is probably one of my favorite games.
I've not played that game myself, but I have friends who play it, so I've watched them play it. I played
so
a little bit. I played a little bit of Dark Souls, and I suck at it. I played.
I'm hating. I played Dark Souls. I had Dark Souls 3 and I had Bloodborne, and I'm hating both of them and still trying to beat them.
Bloodborne was
the Stockholm syndrome.
I found Bloodborne a little easier. Also, I'm trying to get myself into more RTS games, real-time strategy, but like because I'm an enormous fan of Stellaris playing on Steam. It's not exactly real-time, sort of, but not exactly. It's more of a it's like playing Civilization. It's made by the same people, if I remember correctly. So
I do like the Sid Meier Civilization series.
Yeah.
I have 5. I'll play just about anything. I used to play a lot of COD, and I even played some WoW, and I realized that as much as I like gaming, I hate gamers. And
I play one-player games.
The gaming community has pretty much ruined online gaming for me. I just don't.
Yeah,
like
see,
it.
I don't play a lot. The only online game I play pretty much with any regularity is League of Legends. And
I play a lot of chess online too. So if anybody plays chess, if you download the chess.com app on your tablet or your phone, you can add me.
I don't
Chess,
think that's a very
Dom,
different
LDS. It's a joke.
I'd like to think the chess crowd is very different though from your typical gamers in other areas though.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Not really.
No. I mean, I find myself playing with a lot of dumbasses who make really dumb moves, and I don't know what to do with them because I'm like, I did not anticipate you would do something so stupid. Shit.
Suppose the irony being that if you have like really advanced strategy, you might actually be able to lose to someone who has no idea what they're doing.
It's frustrating as hell because I'm not like an expert. Like I'm not super good. I'm pretty good. Browning and I actually play a lot regularly, and we're pretty evenly matched. He's beaten me a few more times than I've beaten him, but we keep each other on each other's toes. And he and I will play chess tournament or chess matches over like the course of a week or two. But then when I'm like waiting for him to make his move, I'll play like a bunch of 5-minute chess matches, which is really good for developing tactics, but my strategy kind of sucks. And I'll make stupid mistakes all the time and I'll kick myself.
I haven't played chess in years, so I got to be honest. I'm fairly certain that I'm not good at it. I honestly don't know because the last time I played it, I'm pretty sure I was like 20. So
let's see. Where do we see the whole anti-2A movie going? Will it fizzle and disappear for a while like it usually is? I don't know. I mean, granted, I've only been really into politics for the last 10, 15 years. So I wasn't politically active during the assault weapons ban. I was only in high school.
Ironically enough, that's the space of a generation, though, because the people that are protesting now, that's roughly their whole lives. So, I mean, that it's not a short time. You're talking about people who are roughly 16 to 18. 15 years is pretty much their whole life. So, you know, you obviously you're dealing with people who basically their whole politics was formed in the time that you it was formed in the time that you've been in politics seriously. So honestly, I think that it will probably have its ups and downs because every time it goes up, it fuels its own drop because the people who are pro gun control are so ignorant of the subject that nobody really takes them seriously, and they end up just fueling people really wanting to know more. So I think honestly,
I guess it would depend on what you mean by fizzle, because I don't think it's ever going to go away. I don't think that sentiment. These are not rational people. These are not people that like you will convince them that they're wrong. They are willingly dishonest or willingly stupid.
Right.
And so I don't that sentiment, their passion, their animus against the Second Amendment, that's never going away now.
Right. Plus, it's not even really based on the Second Amendment since they don't know anything about it. The thing is just that ultimately they're so caught up in these other stupid ideas about, you know, whether or not, again, it's that you just want a gun because you have a small penis or the ammosexual, blah, blah, blah. It's really not based on anything substantial. So, you know, and yeah,
yeah, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I kind of hope it'll fizzle, but I don't think it will. Whether they'll actually get anything done, I don't think so. They'd have to be willing to take really drastic measures against gun owners that they're not willing to take because they're a bunch of pussies. So, hey, John, do the kids in the background, do they want to tell any embarrassing stories about you?
Oh, God forbid. I would. They're not. Well, one. I suppose one of them isn't old enough to. But yeah, they're naturally loud. It's just kind of. That's the trouble. Is I try to make sure they're out of the room, but then they start screaming from their room for like the whole time. But I'll probably have to go in there in a second.
Just kill them. Whatever. I think the last has established we're allowed to kill our kids, right? That's
it because there is. Well, yeah. Apparently, if you like guns, then I guess that means you're perfectly okay with killing children or something or other. So whatever. It was like, and honestly, that's another. Honestly, I want to say I'm pissed off by the anti-2A people, but actually, it just gets old. It just gets old because
is this a podcast? Yes.
They say this. They say the same things all the time. They just constantly say the same thing. And like I said, they don't know anything. So it's just a constant talk against people who I don't want to know anything. What was it? The ones that we don't need to know all the terminology. Like, how dare you tell us we have to know every single term? It does help when you want to ban something that you know what that word you're talking about actually means. No, we don't. I'm
yeah. So. And then Seamus brings up a good point. Like there's a very cultish mentality, and that's why I said I don't think cults don't go away. They kind of linger. Just ask the Mormons. I'm allowed to tell that joke, okay?
If you want to. What?
Like I posted something on Twitter today, and I pissed off one of my liberal followers because I was like, "Look, I don't care what your intentions are. Like, I get that they have good intentions. I think a lot of people have good intentions. I think they want to fix a problem that we all agree is a problem. Mass shootings are a problem. People dying is a problem, right? But at some point, you're not honest. You're you're an idiot. Like that's the point that I've reached is if you continue to push for gun control, if you continue to push for banning AR-15s, if you continue to push for banning things that have no bearing whatsoever on the lethality of a firearm, you're a fucking moron, okay? Or you're a liar. It's one of the two. There's no option C. You're a dumbass or dishonest. I'll give you the choice to pick, but I do have liberal followers because I have liberal followers, like two. I think I have two, and I piss them off. I piss them off all the time.
No, the irony is that the number of leftists that follow me on Twitter is probably very small. Number of Facebook friends that are leftists, however, is most of them. It's funny because I'm pretty sure that's the same with you, and got a lot of people whose politics probably don't agree with you on Facebook, but not so much on Twitter. At least that's my experience. That's the way it is for me.
I don't know. The people that follow me on Twitter that are liberal like to argue, they like to debate, but they're not assholes for the most part. Right. Today I pissed off a guy. Sorry, but I mean that's my opinion. Like, and I'm not gonna apologize for that because, especially the way I debate is I try to pin. If I'm debating you, I'm going to pin you in a corner where you have to acknowledge that you don't know what you're talking about or that you're lying. Right. So I will ask questions. I will pick apart your logical fallacies. I will present my own arguments. But at the end of the day, my goal is to pin the person in the corner so that they can only be one of two things. That's how you, in my opinion, that's how you win a debate. Yeah. Do I convince very many people that way? Nope.
No, and many people, you can't convince them of that stuff like that because I mean,
has anyone checked in on Dick's sales since they stopped? Did anybody still shop at Dick's? I didn't shop at Dick's before, especially not for guns.
I've been in a Dick's store for like a few minutes years ago. That's about it. Never shopped there.
I don't go to like, yes, Shamus, you're right. You absolutely, and that is always my goal, is to convince the people that are watching me that I'm worth listening to and the other guy's not.
That's how we're gonna
and that's absolutely what my point is, what I try to do in a debate.
Well, and it means that
well, that wasn't the name, though.
Well, I was gonna say I tried to figure out how to word that so that I didn't avoid the.
I've never been to a Dick's or a BJ's.
Oh well, I tried to avoid the joke, but I just knew there was no way to word that.
If I'm gonna buy a gun, I'm gonna go to a gun shop. I like to have my options. You know, I like to have like 50 different guns that I can hold.
I went to Gander Mountain.
Test out.
I went to Gander Mountain. It turned out pretty well. There was, oh dear God.
Poor Shamish.
Is it? I was gonna say there's an H at the end, so I was gonna say, is it Seamus? But no, it's not Seamus.
No, it's like the character from
like Samus. I know, I like Samus, but I was wondering if that was like a play, like it was one of those. Hey, it sounds like it could be, Samus Aran, but also it's Seamus. But I don't know. But it's not Seamus. I could.
By the way, Metroid is like the best game ever, especially for the Super Metroid.
Yes,
I actually have that on my computer because I have the ROMs and the emulators.
Sure. Yeah, that's what I do.
And absolutely, that was my favorite game to play.
Yep. I was actually playing it not that long ago. I'm still in the middle of the game. I never did finish it. I've just been constantly wandering, but I will get around to finishing it eventually.
That's actually, I used to beat games. Now I play them and I get about 2/3 of the way through.
Right. And then they kind of just drift out.
I just walk away. And then by the time I get back to it, I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Where am I? Where was I supposed to go? Fuck it, I'll start over later.
I got
and then I never like I have Final Fantasy 15. I was playing. I borrowed it from my sister. It's something to give it back to her. And I'm like maybe halfway, 2/3 of the way through the game, and it's been 6 months since I played it. I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, it's kind of like me. There was a game I picked up on as an indie game on Steam, and it's not so much that I got like 2/3 through or anything. It's kind of a Metroidvania type game, but I kind of just I lost my save, so I lost all the work I did, so I haven't played it since because it's like I don't want to do all that work all over again. So
okay, serious question. Excluding Oprah, who beats Trump in 2020? Nobody. No, I don't know, because
Biden?
After this, if Biden had run against him in 2018, I would have said Biden.
No,
I'm sorry, 2016. Yeah, you know what I meant. 2016, I would have said Biden could have won. But Biden was so thoroughly cucked that he gave up his shot for a woman who had no chance in hell.
Whoops.
Whoops. I honestly think if Joe Biden ran in 2020, I don't think he'd win. Just because he's an idiot. And because, except for this omnibus thing, it'll really depend on the omnibus outcome. People are pointing out, and yeah, they're right. I don't know how much hope that gives me. But they are right. Like, the thing about the omnibus bill that was passed is, in theory at least, Trump could just say, fuck you, I'm not giving you the money. Right. Because it was apportioned. That doesn't mean like the money hasn't changed hands. It's just been set aside. It's a budget bill, right? These projects are going to get no more than this amount of money. They could get less. And so a lot of people that are holding on to this hope that Trump is going to slow walk the movie on money, slow walk the money, withhold the money, which I think Obama did. Obama did something similar in 2013.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people figured it was just 4D chess here, that he was just trying to fool them and make them, yeah, we're going to get everything we want, and then the money doesn't actually come. But
yeah, so I honestly, it really does depend on how this omnibus thing plays out. If Trump really does play 4D chess, which I don't think he does. So here's the thing about Trump. Trump has he has what I call the gummy bear approach to business and politics.
Right.
What he does is he takes a handful of gummy bears, he licks it, throws it against the wall, and he sees what sticks. So sometimes it works out really well for him, and sometimes not so much. So and prior to this omnibus bill, I think he was doing really well. I think he was exceeding expectations. Let me put it that way. So if this doesn't like play out as badly as people think it might, then he'll survive it, and I don't think anybody can run against him in 20. I don't think the Dems have a bench. And
no, well, I think they do.
That's his point. All the Dems have to do is not be crazy, and they just can't do it.
No, I was going to say everybody that they've got, they basically seem to want to run, basically does not fit that bill. Because if you look at, I mean, honestly, who are they going to run? Kamala Harris? I mean, literally everybody they want to run is going to run on the same platform of everyone's a racist or everyone's a sexist, or in Kamala Harris's case, both. So you got what? Warren. We're back to Hillary Clinton. Everyone's a sexist.
Oh, no, wait, who was that guy? Who was that guy that ran in Pennsylvania and won?
I forget his name. I know what you're talking about, though.
But because he ran as a conservative, he was basically pro-life conservative Democrat.
Sort of. I mean,
the Dems, and that's the thing. If the Dems put someone up like him, or if they put someone who's both savvy and like pro-working class, then Trump might have some. He might find himself sweating during the 2020 election.
Yeah, good luck finding a candidate among the Democrats that won't install everybody between the coasts. Well, yeah, because
the thing that pisses me off is like if I was old enough to run, I would have run against Hillary, and I would have won.
Because like anybody,
you have to be like the worst. Okay, first of all, Cruz was an idiot, and I supported Cruz in the primaries, and now I'm like, he's dead to me. But Cruz could have had the thing in the bag if he was a little less arrogant and a little more savvy. For example, when the media is trying to pigeonhole you and make you like into this racist by asking, what did you think about Trump? Or trying to pitch you against Trump. Don't say, oh, Trump's terrific, he's great. Just say, well, I wasn't surprised by anything that Trump said because he's a liberal Democrat. Done. Two birds with one stone. You get it. You jujitsu the media out of the question. You know, you out jujitsu the media, and you get Trump supporters to go, ooh, yeah, he's right. He's a liberal Dem. Yeah, cutesy is a very good word for a guy. Like, well, he tried to be whimsy. He tried to be witty, and he tried to be clever, and he just came across as an ass.
Well, plus, the Libertarians might have actually won had they run Austin Peterson instead of Gary Johnson. I think Peterson had a good shot. He could have actually done something, you know, as opposed to. I am convinced at this point that Gary Johnson, there is no point in that cycle that he was not on drugs. I'm pretty sure he was on something, stoned and on something else the entire time. The whole time. Right. Man.
Help me out. What were we talking about?
I don't know what Aleppo is, man. I don't know. Man, I don't know. It's like, what's your favorite world leader? Dude, we don't even need those. I mean, come on.
I got the munchies.
Do you even know a good world leader? Yes, I do. Well, nobody else does. No, it's just you. Well, I was like,
okay. So Shama says, I'd love to have a pot smoking president. We had that with Obama. So you might want to rethink that one.
So maybe we should aim a little bit higher and go for
aim a little higher. Yes, exactly.
Go for a crack smoking one this time. You know, although Obama did smoke, didn't he say he did a little cocaine in his college years? I thought
Bush did cocaine. I know that.
Well, yeah.
And the funny thing was the left freaked out. I'm like, dude, if I went to like an Ivy League school, you're damn right I'd be taking coke. That's the only way I'd graduate.
I was going to say, I can only imagine that, especially, God forbid, you go to an Ivy League school and you're a white guy. I feel like at this point you'd have to be on like heavy antidepressants just to get through.
I would have just been I would have been happy with Red Bull in college if I had known that like energy drinks existed. But I went to BYU, so
I thought you couldn't have caffeine.
Everyone thinks that, but that's not true. It's just at BYU they don't do it because for stupid reasons. But it has nothing to do with
thing. I thought the coffee thing was because of caffeine.
No. No.
Well then I'm
because you can't have decaf because you can't have decaf coffee either.
Oh, well, I don't get it then.
It's the only way I like.
Damn it! I thought I had
awake enough.
Thought I had
BYU
down.
Does allow fun. It just doesn't allow fun.
Well, are you talking about the fun that may or may not run afoul of the law? That's the fun they don't allow.
I actually do have a disorderly conduct charge on my record.
Tell anybody that?
Full disclosure. I mean, it's going to come out when I run anyway. So
I guess that's true. You got to get out ahead of it right now, yeah.
Just get out ahead of it.
Let's roll with the punches.
It was college. It was I was experimenting with kicking the crap out of my roommate.
What? Again, things. Well, I guess it's going to come out too, right?
He did it. He started it. Like the guy wanted to pick a fight over dirty dishes. I mouthed off to him. His response was to try to sucker punch me. He punched like a little girl and I kicked the crap out of him.
Oh, it's like that guy in high school that punched me because he didn't like the fact that I spoke proper English. He hit like a girl too.
He gave me a goose egg. He was going for my cheek, but he was dumb and he was doing first of all he telegraphed it by like slamming himself off the wall and coming at me in like a big old haymaker. So I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna punch me. So I just like leaned into it. And he ended up punching me. He ended up punching me right in the forehead. I swear to God, I probably fucked up his hand. And I think I did because he later lied to the cops to get a TRO against me because we tried to get him evicted, and then he appealed the eviction. And then he later claimed that I like slammed his hand in the door. And so I'm guessing that, and they said, yeah, we saw the injuries and it was consistent with it. So I'm like, no, that was when he fucked up his hand because he punched me in the face. Like,
yeah, well, at least you got. Well, it's still something pretty trivial. You got punched.
The best part of the story is, I got off with a disorderly conduct charge. He faced perjury charges, which was like 5 years in jail or $100,000 or both. Because you can't lie to get a TRO. And then he got evicted from the apartment, and then he got expelled from BYU. So, fuck you, guy.
I was gonna say, like I said, well, at least you got punched for something that at least somewhat makes sense. Like mine, it was more like just everyone was just really confused because basically he was just telling me. Well, like I said, I don't fully know because I didn't understand half of what he said. Okay, look, the Ebonics thing, I've been working on that for years. I'm still not perfectly understanding all of it. At the time, I understood none of it. So when he was talking, it was one of those things where it's like I understand each separate word in the sentence, but when you put them all together, all the meaning's lost. And it's kind of like me listening to most rap. It's the same thing. But yeah, he didn't like the way I spoke. And he said something about how I just talk that way to make him look bad in front of white people. And then he punched me. And I kind of sat there like, okay. I don't even know you.
I can totally see you just taking a punch. I can totally see you like taking a punch and just be like, what the fuck just happened?
Well, that's exactly what happened is he hit. And I was like, wait a minute.
I had a lot of fights as a kid.
I'm just like, I don't understand. See, I was the mediator as a kid. Like everybody got into fights and I had to break them up. But so, you know.
Yeah, I was the guy that I was the friend that you were like, dude, calm down. It's not working.
Right? So just let it go. Let it go.
Kill him. I'm gonna kill him. Just let me go, man. I'm gonna kill him.
Right. So, you know, I was well, except for that one time, there was a guy in my class, he like was kind of messing with one of the girls or something. So I just picked up the first thing that came to hand and threw it at him. Unfortunately, it happened to be a piece of sheet metal and it gave him a good slash across the back of the head. Needed a couple dozen. He needed a couple dozen stitches to close that up. Did not mean to do that. I did not.
Okay, so that reminds me of a funny story. So they had this autistic kid, like literally autistic, in my high school, and I don't know why. He was really bad. Like his mom wanted to mainstream, and and everyone was like, "You can't mainstream this kid. Like he's too autistic." And everybody called him Smurf because that was one of his trigger words. Like if you said certain words around him, he would like flip his shit. And Smurf was one of them, so everyone called him Smurf. But to bully him, the people that bullied him called him. So let me rephrase that.
Right.
So me and a friend of mine, and this friend, she was really cool. She was Haitian, JROTC, and she was also Miss Florida one year. Like
really,
she was a package deal, and she was in the pre-med program with me. So she was like smoking hot. A badass and like really, really, really smart. We were really good friends, and we just got fed up with this kid. There was this one kid in particular that would like just harass the autistic kid. Jeremy was his real name. So yeah, they would just harass this kid Jeremy, and we got fed up with it. And so we started trolling them and tripping them up, like because they would say the name and they'd run away. It was like when boys pull on girls' pigtails. Yeah. So it was that level of stupid. So we would like trip him or we'd clothesline him. And one time this little kid, I can't remember he's this little fat fuck who was picking on the autistic kid. And the autistic kid's like cussed him out. And the bully was like, "Don't call me," I don't remember what he says. It's like, "Don't call me this bitch." And I was like, "Fine, I'll call you it, bitch." And then I went up and got in his face. And the guy was half my size. Like he was and I'm not a big guy. I'm only like 5'9". And at that time I was like 135 pounds wet. And this kid was half my size. He was just pudgy. And so he's like pushing me and pushing me and pushing me down the hall, and I'm laughing, and I've got like my books in one hand, and I'm just like, I'm backing up so that the teachers can see like I'm not the aggressor here. I didn't throw the first punch. I'm the good guy, because Florida has like 0 tolerance policies.
Oh God.
And yeah, so you kind of have to play this game where you try to piss the guy off, and you have to basically look like you're getting pummeled and then defend yourself, and then you get off.
Right. New York.
So I walk past one of my teachers, and he's like, "Mike, do you need any help? Do you want me to?" I already called the APs and the SROs. I'm like, "Good." So I pick the kid up by his collar and I throw him across the hall, right into the locker room. And then his friends who were just watching and thinking like this kid was going to take me down, like they jump in and they're like picking him up off the ground and like, "Yo man, this cracker messing with you?" And I'm just like, "You want some of this? I just threw your friend across the hall. Come at me." I got suspended for a day. It was worth it.
Unfortunately, I don't actually have any fight stories. The closest I can get is one when I was, I want to say 19, maybe 20, somewhere in there. But this was at a YMCA in the area over here. And there was this, I used to go there for martial arts classes, karate. And so I came out of one of the classes, and I, for whatever reason, didn't change clothes. So I was still wearing my gi. And I went down to the basketball court because I like to play, and I just wanted to see who was there. I usually did that. So I was still wearing it, and there was like 3 kids in there, or 4 of them, and 3 of them left. So there's like this one kid left, and he's fairly big. He's a pretty big guy, and he just, I don't know what the hell was with him. He's like, "Hey, you in that karate class up there?" And I'm like,
okay, yeah. What is it with gis? What is it with you, like martial arts gis and people wanting to pick a fight with you?
See, that's what. So
that's seriously like the equivalent of picking a fight with a guy who open carries. Like, right. Like what the fuck do you think you're going to accomplish?
Right. So he says, he's like, "Man, that shit doesn't work. That shit's just for movies. That shit doesn't work." And I'm like, "Okay, I don't know you." I was like, So he's like, "Man, I'm going to show you." So he starts running. Now he's standing at the opposite end of a basketball court. So I'm thinking, okay, he's bigger than me. It's not like I can fight him head on. And I thought, oh, wait a second. So he's running, and the thought going through my head, how it's like everything's in slow motion and you're thinking all this stuff. And so I'm just like, wait a second. I'm standing 2 feet in front of a concrete wall. I don't need to do anything. So I just
Jesus.
moved aside and he ran headfirst into the wall, knocked himself clean out. And so and of course, wouldn't you know, right after he does this, those 3 guys that walked out walk back in right as I'm standing over him with my gi on and he's laid out on the floor. They're like, "What'd you do to him?" I was like, "I didn't touch him.
I'm that good, fuckers.
Right.
Back off."
Yeah, they freaked out. They ran to the front and they were like, "Ah, it's okay. He's a kid. He's a problem kid. He does this shit all the time." But like, but it was funny because that timing was horrible. Like I was standing there and it's like, it's like you just beat the shit out of him. It's like, no, I didn't even touch him. What are you talking about? I had a friend later who was like, "Man, you should have taken his wallet."
I totally did. Somebody tried to mug me and then ended up kicking their ass. I would take their wallet and I would empty it of its contents. And I'd be like, "Karma, bitch."
So yeah, unfortunately,
I'm that guy.
I'm not the badass who's been in a lot of fights. Usually it's more me just kind of making fun of people because like I know kids, like when I was in like 8th grade, I went to this one school that was really cliquish and like some, they used to make fun of me because like I wear a lot of secondhand clothes because I'm very practical and I don't give a shit where my clothes come from just so long as they work. And so somebody make fun of me about like my shoes because I like had I had old shoes and it's just like, "Oh, your shoes suck," and I'm the kind of guy who I don't care about any of this stuff. So they're just like, it's like, "Man, your shoes," like, "Oh, what'd they cost you?" "Probably like $30. Oh, those are cheap shoes." And I'm just like, "Well, yeah, because my family likes to eat. You look a little on the skinny side. How much did you say your shoes were again?" And, I can't believe you would say that. Why? I was like, I don't, stuff. It was just fun because like, I wasn't a bullyable kid. I wasn't someone you could bully because there are very few things in this world that I care about. So if you tell me stuff about myself, I know myself better than anyone else does. So that being the case, if you tell me stuff, I'm going to probably either ignore it or I'm just going to laugh at you and I'm not going to care either way. And then, and I could defend myself if you wanted to physically fight. So either way, bullying me was not easy to do because
I got bullied a lot as a kid. That's
really?
why I learned how to fight. Yeah. So Aerith played with snakes, like as a kid, or what? Is this like? Is he still playing with snakes? Is this a euphemism?
No.
No. I have a funny snake story. So one of my best friends from college, he collects snakes as pets. Like he has, and if you go into his room, he has like a whole wall of snake pens. And it's almost like walking into a house of reptiles at a zoo. It's a little bizarre. He's a really cool guy. It's just he has this one creepy like hobby. And it's only creepy when you're in the room. Like it's just like. It is the weirdest thing to be surrounded by about 40 to 50 snakes at any given time. And so he was getting married, and my wife and I went to go attend his wedding, and we wanted to spend time with him and his bride, and as well as his roommate, who was also a mutual best friend. So, but they were going to go on their honeymoon right away. So we were going to stay in Utah for a little bit just to be with our best friend, who is still single and living there, ladies, in case you're wondering. And so the guy that got married, he let me and my wife stay in his room since he and his new wife were going to be on their honeymoon and be gone. And he neglected to mention that there were a bunch of snakes in his room. So my wife and I were kind of like not sleeping that night, and I decided to prank him. So
looking everywhere.
So I went onto his computer because he gave me his password so I could log, because he had a ton of anime that I was going to download off of his computer onto like a hard drive. And also I was going to set him up with some like my Steam account so he could download some video games. So I go into his computer, I set things up, and then I just decide I'm going to troll him. So I go online and I download like the nastiest, raunchiest, like midget porn I can find. And I make it a screensaver and his wallpaper. And then I changed his password and locked him out. I'm a little shit. I did leave clues as to like what the password was, and I did tell the mutual friend, like, yeah, if you can't figure it out, this is the password. But so my friend was in on it, and it was really nasty. Didn't feel guilty at all. I'd do it again in a heartbeat because he would have done the same thing.
Well, I was gonna try to make a joke there about like parcel tunnel.
I gotta ask more questions.
Snake, but well, no, I think everyone's kind of gone into their own conversations there. But
pay attention to me, guys.
or me.
I'm the pivot man here. All right.
I am perfectly capable of being paid attention to. It's perfectly fine.
You did not get the joke.
I may not have. What did I miss? Was that a reference? I feel like it was a reference.
You know what a pivot man is?
I do not.
It's the individual who is the center of attention in a circle jerk.
Oh. Okay.
Talking to John.
Okay, I didn't know that, okay?
That's the only reason I keep John here is to attract women. Because I know I can't do it. So.
Which is weird because I wasn't able to do that for most of my life. It's funny because my mom always thought that. I swear she thought like every woman around me was trying to seduce me, and like it was like, no, actually they're really not. They're really not.
Hashtag humble brag.
So it's like, oh, every woman just must think you're fun. Like they just constantly try. Except it was more like,
I think everyone's mother thinks that about them, John. You're special. You're handsome.
I guess
yes,
so.
You are. You're my little boy.
It's like, no. It's like, are you kidding me? Women ignore me constantly. I was like, honestly, it's frustrating. You know, I mean, I swear, like, I lived in Kansas for a little while, and I swear, like, God was taunting me because I spent the entire time before that, like, complaining how girls wouldn't pay any attention to me. Like, I had friends all around me that they would, but not me. And then when I went there, I got hit on constantly, but it was by girls that were, like, well underage. And I was like, you're just taunting me now, aren't you? You're just laughing at me. Just, you know, okay, fine. I see how it is. All right, you know. So, you know, so yeah, I'm certainly not now playing So Humble by Lonely Island. You know, that's I know a lot.
I love Lonely Island.
I love Lonely Island, but I don't know that song.
Every time Shamus does something, like I learn something about her, I'm just like, oh, I want to be her best friend.
I don't. I was gonna say I don't know that particular song. I was gonna say because I know I love Lonely Island, like, but not.
I just had sex. Like I play that song
every
time my wife and I bone. Not really, but
you probably will now. I'm sure. Now that you've thought of it,
I really like the Jack Sparrow song. I think that's my favorite song.
That was hilarious. Was that the first song I ever
Like
heard
a Boss? That's another good one too.
The first
Did
one
cocaine like a boss. Kill myself like a boss. Suck my dick like a boss.
The first one.
So you died and then you sucked your own dick. I didn't say that.
Yeah. My favorite. The first song I ever heard from them was "Jizz in My Pants." That was the.
No.
You know, that was like that. I jizz in my
pants. I actually so when I was in college, I was at Big Radio. When I was driving, I would roll the windows down, open the moonroof, and then I would crank out, like, if I was playing heavy metal or punk music that had lots of swear words, I would just crank that shit up and then be like, yeah, what are you guys gonna do about it? If I had known if Lonely Island existed when I was in college, you damn straight I'd be playing like Jizz in My Pants as loud as I could.
That would be just terrible. I'm trying to think what was I'm on a Boat. That was another one I liked. But and then there was
I'm on a boat.
There was a parody of that for anybody who watches a lot of Abridged series. There was Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged where they had I'm on a Blimp, which was kind of a parody of that. Which, by the way, I do love Abridged series. I'm still like trying to watch a bunch of those because I just plowed through a lot of DBZ Abridged. So
I can't. FR is here, and I can't help but pay attention to it. That is understandable.
Okay, fair enough. That
I
is.
mean, it's
That is
really hard. It's really hard to ignore FR because
yeah. It is pretty
dancer
hard,
booty
though.
is best booty.
And I can't say it's really hard without. Yeah, that doesn't work either. Anyway,
Now Shaman's just like, what? It's like, no fair.
There's no way around that. Anyway, it's like no wonder no one's asking questions.
FR, were I not a married man, I'd take you in a manly fashion. I just butchered that quote, but whatever.
I'm just saying. Well, I was gonna say I'm spoken for at this point myself, but I'm just saying that we're.
Oh, so that happened. It's official.
Wait. Well,
I
not
thought
like
that was like. Oh, never mind.
well, it's not like an engagement, but but it
kind of is.
Fair enough, but
It kind of is.
Okay, unofficial. How are we gonna call it that? Unofficial engagement. We'll go with that. So, what? Oh God, I don't know. What have you done? It all started with the snakes.
I don't know. We're going to blame Aerith, though. Whatever he did, it's his fault.
Yep, I blame the snakes. I think that's what it was. I always used to say, when in doubt, blame the cat.
We're not fucking around anymore, Ring.
You know what?
John, that's one of the most amazing things about this show is I've learned I actually can make a black man blush. That I didn't. I have discovered a new and amazing talent that I have is to make John like visibly, like you can tell.
Wait, really? You can tell that? How do you visibly tell? I assumed it was by the expression on my face. You're actually going by visual? I'm trying to look at the camera here. Is it?
No, but you're going to keep looking, aren't you?
I am looking because somebody said that, and I was like, I probably am. But so is Grey Wolf. I'm trying to figure that out because I'm like looking like, I know I can blush, you just can't see it. And I'm just like, okay, well, is it the expression on my face or the tone of my voice, or are you actually visibly seeing something? Because I'm not seeing it. So
maybe it's just the filter.
It could be, but then again, I was saying that honestly, I would accept that because I probably was, but but I'm not really totes adorbs. I was remembering that commercial with what is it?
You guys really suck at this asking questions thing. Can I just point that out?
I was just saying it's the Malcolm McDowell and James Earl Jones commercial. I think it was for like Sprint or something. Them reading text messages from like teenage girls. See, he's cray adorbs. Totes adorbs.
Totes my goats.
Yeah.
I like that phrase. Totes my goats.
That was just, oh God.
Who's the last commercial to use that?
You know,
that's a good one. Star Wars or Star Trek? Well, I was raised on Star Trek, and then I grew up and realized that it's shitty socialist writing. I love Star Wars.
And then they made The Last Jedi.
Ooh, okay. Now they're asking questions that I can't keep up. God damn it. Can you guys make up your minds? Jesus Christ.
Ballet or tap, like to do or to watch? I was going to say.
I would love to know how to do tap dance. I
would
played around with tap. I played around with tap dancing. Gregory Hines is probably one of my big inspirations for that.
Since it's her asking, I will simply say that, and I was not the one who decided. I was made to do this. I did do ballet when I was in elementary school. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I was made to do this. It was not something I was like. But
I liked Star Wars. I loved the original Star Wars. I loved the extended universe. I still do. Knights of the Old Republic Knights of the Old Republic are still some of the best games ever.
Yeah. No question.
But I'm not. I obviously the prequels are a shit show. And I don't know how I feel about the sequels. So
Force Awakens was okay.
I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I haven't seen the second one yet, and everyone's saying it's bad. So
see, I'm a person who doesn't mind spoilers.
Yes.
So I have not actually seen The Last Jedi, but I've watched enough reviews for it that I feel like I have. Now I'm
ballet
still
chicks
gonna.
have great bodies. Hell yeah, they do.
Well, you're a ballet chick, aren't you?
Hell yeah, she does.
So case in point, right there. So
yeah, if you made me pick between the two, absolutely Star Wars. Chicks would expect it to be no. Fair. That's fair. No, I disagree, Eric. I disagree. I don't think getting rid of the extended universe was the worst decision because it gave them creative liberty. They gave them the freedom to kind of do what they want. I do think they should. With it. I do think, yeah, that's the problem. Is what they did with it. They should have tapped into the extended universe. I definitely think they should have looked into it for material.
Mm-hmm. Especially Knights of the Old Republic, I think would have been useful.
Women love the challenge between the gay man straight. Has anyone seen that movie with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Rosalind Sanchez? What is it called? Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
I need to look it up now.
See, right there. Eric said it. What do they do with it? And really, turning a gay man straight. I was going to say, I confess I don't know. Well, I don't know a lot of gay men to begin with, but I was going to say that I don't think any of them actually turn straight, as far as I know. But
hey, but if you want to test that theory on me, I do a mean gay. I do a mean gay list, ladies. Like I'm fabulous.
We both.
I'm even wearing purple today, guys. So I'm expressing my pride.
Okay.
You may now turn me straight.
I'm a lot more fabulous than you. Okay, Chief. Don't even go there. Okay, just don't.
Bitch, I will give you sparkle stamps right now. I'll just do it. Don't even fuck with me, bitch. Don't even fuck with me, ho. I think I went black with that one.
I think just for a second there, yeah. Which is funny because I can't do that.
We've established that I am blacker than you.
I've known a lot of people like that, actually.
Rosalind Sanchez. Oh my God, she's so hot. And I just want to point out that Rosalind Sanchez, my wife, totally looks like her. So,
ironically enough,
Boat Trip. Wife... That's what it's called, Boat Trip.
Oh, okay.
It's a really bad movie.
There's some irony in fact. Actually, not your wife. Your wife actually does.
Oh, look like Shem said it actually.
Yeah. Oh, wait, oops. There it was. Yep. So much. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm reading all this now. You're the worst gay. What? Hold on a second. You know what?
We are very much the worst. Yes, we absolutely are the worst.
I was like, wait, I don't want to fight that one. Let's just go with that one.
Next on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Wait, wasn't?
Hey.
Was it what Nancy Pelosi or something that showed up on that once or something recently? Or something.
Really?
I don't know. Something like that. It was something involving Nancy Pelosi and transvestites, but I can't remember what it was.
If I was a woman and somebody asked me to come on the show, I'd feel a little insulted. Granted, for Nancy Pelosi, it's probably a step up. So being confused for a man. Oh, God,
yeah. Oh God, please tell me she did. I swear she did. I was gonna say I have to. I swear it was. I just don't remember.
She snaps up.
What it was. I just know it was something. Oh well, it'll probably come to me at some point, but I don't remember. But I just know it was something about Nancy Pelosi and drag queens was all I remember. But
do I want to read about something funny? Yes. I feel like this is a trap.
It's a trap.
That's true. The dudes there in San Francisco are probably more feminine than she is.
Giving tips. Oh, yeah. See, that makes sense.
Oh, I did read about that. How trans people got mad at RuPaul for not wanting them on the Drag Race show. Because drag isn't trans. It's completely different.
Yeah. I like I said, that whole thing.
My extra skin. Jesus Christ. That's horrible.
Oh, man.
I don't know who's going to hell more for that. FR for telling the joke or me for like laughing my ass off at it.
I know. But oh man, I have to think. Well, because there's always the jokes about the Botox going to her brain, but I really think that that's an old joke because I think that happened a long time ago.
That would imply she has a brain.
Yeah, that's true too. Well, I was going to say,
she does not strike me as very bright. She doesn't strike me as a very intelligent person.
Well, I guess I would have a hard time.
I'll be saying ice in hell to all of you. Fair. I'll save you guys a seat.
Thank you. That I really appreciate that. That's actually wonderfully
keeping it real, FR.
It's a wonderfully kind gesture.
Yeah, all the cool people go to hell anyway, so.
Was it the engineers? Like, by the time they do, then they've made hell, like they put in air conditioning and all that? Something like that.
See, I did. I got it right. I got it right, FR. I've always been fond of Joseph Smith's quote on that. He's like, well, if we go to hell, we'll just kick the devils out and make a heaven out of it.
See, there you go. Wait, my shirt says keeping it. Well, my shirt. Let's see if I can show that here, because just
Nancy Pelosi owns a vineyard. Is likely her own best customer.
We're on the subject of what. True. On the subject of what shirts say. Mine, right there. Just so anybody's, Yeah. So I am the token white guy.
Which I guess that makes me the token black guy.
So, yeah, that was a gift from a friend of mine who saw that shirt and immediately thought of me, which made perfect sense. So, wait,
I kind of have to laugh how I think it's accurate to say that you get called racist more than I do. I don't know how that works. But in all our social media engagements that I've ever witnessed, where it's like you and me on Facebook or you and me on Twitter, you get called a racist way more than I do.
Like, yep. 2009, I think alone put me ahead of you for life. But,
I don't know.
Well,
higher.
It's
wait. They want a Chip and Dale show.
I should have known. I was gonna say, I am not taking my shirt off. It's not that kind of show. Start linking into your PayPal. Make it rain.
Set up a PayPal account. There you go.
Oh God, I was like, it's not that kind.
We gotta monetize this shit one way or another.
It's like it's not that kind of show. I was gonna say, unless you were trying
to. It could be. I mean, Alex Jones does it on his show. And...
Yeah, well, you know what, Alex. Alex
brown chicken, brown cow. Chicken, brown cow.
Oh my God. You were such a kid.
You have the high voices for it, that's for sure.
I don't.
My voice goes all over the place. If I want to lower
like Chip and Dale. Yeah, I think that's where it is. It's
doing gay to pay to own lips. Hey, it's only gay if you make eye contact.
Like also, a reach around is like a gratuity. Anyway, he was not looking at me; he was looking at everybody else. Whoever is watching, everyone is watching. It's like the thing in ASDF. It's like, what's this button do? Oh, I'm gay now. Oh man, lots of little funny things that I've seen over the years. Like the ASDF videos are pretty funny though.
Okay, it's 9:00. You each get one question, and
everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one. You get one last. We'll take the last two questions if you guys ask them. Otherwise, we're gonna leave you here alone in the dark.
I forgot. It's 9:00 where you are. It's like, what's that 9:00? Oh, right, yes.
Did I say 9? Yeah, whatever. It's been an hour is what I meant.
It's 9 where you are.
I'm an old man. It's time for my bedtime. I had to take a midterm today, and I'm just beat.
No, I've just
come on. Nobody's got any questions. Nobody.
I was gaming today. That's what I was doing.
Oh,
I decided.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
I decided to spend a few hours playing League of Legends. So,
struggle is real.
Yep.
First world problems.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right, nobody's got questions, so we are going to bid you guys a good night. Next week, if all goes well, we should have Glomar Never Dies on. What's our topic next week? I forget.
Well, let's see. If he's coming, it could be any number of things. I was going to say we might have to take that up with him.
I will look it up. I have it written down somewhere. Thoughts on teachers carrying at school? Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Right.
I mean, I don't think we should make them do it, but if they want to, I think it should be allowed.
Right. Absolutely.
Never forget the 6 million chosen people who were turning to furniture and cleaning products. That is very morbid.
What?
Those horribly morbid.
Don't even.
If nobody has questions based on the question. Trust me, there's plenty of things that are questionable. There's lots of questionable things that go on in this show.
We have questionable things, but anyway.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for participating. Thanks for hanging out with us. It was a lot of fun. I did steal this idea from Steph McWilliams, so I feel okay stealing her ideas because we're friends and because I said I stole them from her. So it's all right, though.
Keep in mind, Steph, that he said that, not me. So if anything's wrong with that, it's totally him.
I don't think Steph's here tonight, but if she is, hi, Steph. You can ask me questions. All right, you guys have a good night, and be sure to share this, and we'll see you next week. And we'll actually might have a serious discussion, maybe, possibly.
I think so.
It's Glomar. There's probably gonna be a lot of Holocaust jokes. So, have a good night, guys.
All right.
And make sure you follow it. Well, you guys already all follow us. Just fuck off. Good night, guys. Just fuck off.